All right. Yo, what's up? We are live. All right. Welcome, everyone. Obviously, I gave, why would I warn you guys that I was going to go live? That would make no sense. What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Still adapting to the different time zone. It's like a 13-hour difference, so definitely still a little bit of jet lag. But we're here. All right, we're here. I still wanted to go live, see if we can catch some setups here. I'm in between a Dow Jones, NASDAQ short. I'm actually still holding a Dow Jones short as well at the moment. So let's see how this turns out. So something like that. And we have New York open here in about 2 minutes. So I wanted to get on here before we kick things off. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll see how well which of these two indices kind of are giving the better play here. So yeah, definitely gonna just take a shot at whatever it is, whatever gives a better opportunity. But I'm currently actively already holding a Dow sell from yesterday. So here we go. Let's go. Okay. So we're about a minute out. Let me go ahead. I haven't even announced that I'm live here or anything like that. What's good? Been waiting for this. What's up, Cody? Yeah, back from Indonesia. Schedule is getting a little bit more back to normal. Sleep schedule is not, but everything else is. All right, what's good? What's up, Seth, Cody, Carlos? ¿Qué tal, chicos? ¿Qué cuentan todos? Nas, please, dude. How? What the heck? His dog loves his bone. She's got just her own habits, her own triggers. That's just actually hilarious. Okay. All right, here. So looks like we're popping into the zone already. Dow kind of quicker to get into this area. I wonder if we're gonna get a better opportunity on Nas shorts today. So we're already seeing Dow here, basically at the 618. If we're looking at Nas is getting over to the zone. It's about a 50% pullback. So I actually prefer shorting Nas. Yeah, it looks like it's playing out of the zone right away. So I wonder if it's just going to keep melting from there. Sometimes that happens. I didn't have time to promote or nothing. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, it looks like Nas has a better chance of playing out this morning. See how we're kind of just slowly working our way higher here with Nas still sitting at that 50%. So if we get right around, I'd say right around here, the 786, this will be about like a 40-point stop, give or take, a little bit over. I'd be cool at taking a shot at this over here. All right, cool. Oh wow, Nas already dropping off. You can see such a difference that there's way more bearish momentum on Nas relative to Dow just off the rip. That's giving it's like I wish it was Dow just because I'm already in another short from over here. And so this kind of, we'll see if it can hold on. That would be ideal. All right, cool. Send one more notification, and we're good. But honestly, if it keeps rejecting like this may just rally anyways. And the cool thing is, outside of indices, there's a couple other setups that I think can happen during this New York session. So I'm actually, I'll be going over some majors. I'll be going over some metals. I had a pretty good gold setup yesterday that happened during Asian session as well. So for sure, let's go ahead and check that out. All right, what's up? Omar, what's up, Joe? Ruben, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Consulta, ¿recomiendas invertir en la moneda Jupiter? A mí sí me gusta esa inversión, definitivamente. What's up? Just took silver buy. What's up, Gio? Okay, silver buys. Interesting. And one thing I want to point out right now is take a look at how Nas actually dropped pretty aggressively, and then now it's kind of pulling up quicker. So it's starting to rally a little bit upwards, a little bit faster. So I wonder if it's going to end up surpassing the retracement on Dow. So now we're seeing Dow back at the 618, Nas still at this 38.2. So shorts on Nasdaq still look solid to me, super good. What's up, Hugo, Greg, Angelica? What's up, Michael? Entonces sí, me está gustando las ventas aquí. And so, you know, let me go ahead over here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to basically just set up my other trade over here at, let's see. I'm going to just let these go risk-free. I'm not really in the mood to take L's for no reason on my other Dow Jones setup. So let me go ahead and adjust that. All right, cool. That way I can just get something in case it's not the lagging one. But look at how we're now seeing Nasdaq at this 50%, and then Dow is kind of cooling off. So something is kind of telling me that we may end up seeing Nasdaq kind of start retracing a bit faster than Dow, and maybe we get another shorting opportunity somewhere over here. So like right now we're seeing Dow Jones to the 618, and the reason I'm looking to sell is because we saw here about 5:15 a.m. Central Time, huge spike. This clears up quite a bit of liquidity, then continues to work its way down. The market stays trading down here for basically 3 hours, and now it's finally over here in the zone. And I don't think we've really seen enough momentum. So, yeah, right now I am definitely still leaning more towards NASDAQ shorts. Maybe Dow stays within the range as well, but I think NASDAQ has a pretty good shot. So let me go ahead and let's see, pull up my idea here. Let's see if I can get a good play. Make sure, guys, that you have the right contract sizes, all that good stuff. You're all ready to roll. Because if you don't, you're going to end up paying the consequences later. Honestly, all it takes is for you to take the wrong trade, the wrong sizing, and you're not going to even be able to trade the way you'd want to trade. Like, the wrong contract size will just fuck the whole thing up. But look at this. We just got NAS poking into the zone. Now, Dow is dropping way faster. See how aggressively it's starting to drop from here? See that? NAS isn't really selling like that. Price action, so this is right, price action, the live momentum of the market right now. It looks like Dow is starting to kind of lose momentum faster. So whether it's NAS, whether it's Dow, I'm kind of split between either of these. NAS here just slightly less bullish. Obviously, just in this zone, I think we have good selling opportunities. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lean on shorts here with Nas, and then see what we can do from here. So if you want to have a really conservative entry, then I mean, cool. You could start to short now. I think if you want to have a better risk reward, I think going where we've seen previous levels of support, that last point of supply could work as well pretty well. So I like shorts from the zone. We have liquidity that we can sweep below over here, and if I zoom out, I think we'll have even better risk reward. But either way, the easiest conservative exit would be somewhere over here, right around 19,295. Cool. So right around that 19,370-ish, like right around that zone, I think is good for the short. Just about there. Now let me go ahead and pull up my other chart over here. Okay. Let's see. Orders. Sweet. And that's set up. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking to short this bad boy here. Question is it going to give me the entry or not? That's the question of the day. So what I want to know from you guys is, what are you doing here in this situation? Are you already selling here? Are you staying out of the sells? Maybe you're looking at something different. You know, maybe you see this and you go, well, actually, you know, I want to trade with the momentum of New York Open. So maybe you like, you know, a trade over here somewhere. In my opinion, I think we have basically liquidity here. So the buys, I'm not in love with them because I think it's vulnerable in smaller time frames. This could just sweep these lows. I totally see how we had New York Open push aggressively to the downside, sweep quite a bit, and then rally. So I could see it, right? I could see why the market could kind of bounce out of here and continue. However, if we zoom out a bit more, I think there's more momentum to the downside. So right around here, guys, we're already, you know, getting closer and closer to where I would enter. In this zone, it's already valid. Like anywhere in this zone is valid for the sells. I'm just waiting to get up to here to get a better risk reward. And honestly, it just missed my zone, my entry by like 10 points. And you see how we're losing this kind of momentum. If it just keeps dropping, then, you know, I'm not gonna chase that. So the big move to the upside, this is about 69 points, 70 points. So if this just keeps shorting from here, if we just see this melt its way through some more, then I'm not going to chase this. Like, it just happened to, you know, miss my entry by a little bit. I'm still holding a Dow sell anyways. So I'm not totally tripping about it. I would love to be able to have a Dow sell running and a Nas sell running based off of two different ideas. But, you know, if it doesn't play out, it doesn't play out. Not much I can do about that. Or if it doesn't trigger. But let me know. Is anyone in the sell already? Looks like it might be it. Looks like this this already might have been the trade. One of the biggest things that I have a lot of peace with when trading is if the market, for example, if it didn't give me my entry that I wanted, like here, I have already, prior to the market doing the moves that it's going to do, I've already committed. So I've already made a decision that I don't need, if the market doesn't give me my entry and it just starts moving without me, there is no world in which I will take it, below or above where I wanted to. There's a specific decision, there's specific elements to my entry model. And so we had here, for example, liquidity, the sweep, right around these zones are clear areas where, I want to be in the market. And so right now, definitely this is mitigating, guys. It's, look at that, 65, 70 points, beautiful shorts. This thing is doing its magic. Let me double check and see if I happen to, maybe I got in there by accident. Nope, just missed my entry. And that's totally fine. But I want to know, obviously the bias, the direction was all set in stone here. Did you guys take that? Anyone take that a little earlier? Maybe have a more conservative approach. Mike, how can join your mentorship? You can. I think there's a form in the description. I just have a wait list right now. I'm not taking anybody currently, but very soon, very very soon. What's up, Linda? Dripco, what would you say as a tip for Nas and the Dow, or how would you say as a pro tip to understanding these markets and deciphering on entries? For me, the biggest thing that's giving me the way in which got stopped out less. I don't really get stopped out. The way to confirm is just divergence for me. So there's the whole entry model, which is just basically I'm looking to get in where we're going to get an exchange of smart money, where we're going to get exchange of the massive orders, the large orders. And in these examples, these two looked really similar. Now, sometimes both of them work out. So we could have shorted Dow, we could have shorted Nas, and they both would have really worked out. Now, Nas has a bit more momentum today compared to Dow, right? It's dropping faster right now. In this whole range, the market's back at a 38.2 pullback with NASDAQ, whereas with Dow, it's at like a 50%. So obviously, there's differences here. But that's how I decipher which one to take. But the principles are similar. It's, okay, understanding how money is flowing. So we had retail building up selling positions here during London. We saw then a big move here. So a buy about 70 points on a buy that clears out these. Same thing here with Dow. It just liquidates these positions, works its way down. The market doesn't just come down and back up, right? We create demand. The market trades here for a lot longer, and then it makes its move. So, yeah, that's why I was leaning more towards here. Interesting though is that now after Nasdaq fell off here, saw a nice drop. This is a nice and easy mitigation. Nas is actually coming back up really quickly, and then now Dow is just chilling. So we're actually seeing better price action again with Dow Jones. Looks like it's holding up just a lot better. With Dow, the move was about 130 points to the upside. Right now, we're starting to see Dow actually hasn't even made that whole move, so it actually should drop a bit more. I don't think this little bounce that we got here, I'm not really sold on if it's going to really last or not. So this might just come and work its way down some more. So thankfully, I already have a short running from yesterday on Dow Jones. And looks like now momentum has swung back in Dow's favor. See how we're below the 38.2, whereas Nas is getting back to the 38.2. So, yeah, I guess that was my advantage, that I kind of had both options available to me. But really one of the biggest things is if you didn't get into this idea because you were waiting for the exact zone that I was waiting for. If that is the case, then truly understanding that the most skilled decision is not chasing an entry lower, is not feeling like you missed out on something, is because this is where mistakes are made. Here's where the snowball effect of poor decision making starts to happen, and it starts to happen because you feel like you were robbed, you feel like you're owed something, and now your mind just sees a very, very small, narrow window, and it's feeling like a sense of scarcity. And it's scarcity because you start to think, well, why? I could have made money. I could have been making more right now. And now you want to, and the funny thing is because it was an unrealized opportunity. It's a hypothetical opportunity. And now our entitlement, or the fact that we feel like, wow, that could have been me. Now you want to make back what wasn't even, you didn't qualify for the idea. Let's say if this was the exact thing. Now, if your entry model tells you to, it's a mitigation model, and to narrow down, it's a 71% pullback, and you should have been in there, then cool, you should have been in there, and maybe it's an execution issue. But if your entry is based off of fibs, or it's based off of price action or structure or whatever, and you're not in there because the market didn't get to where you needed it to, then it's not an issue. This is one of the setups that maybe just didn't play out exactly how you should. Because remember, your entry model or your trading system, it's a series. It's not a one-time moment. So don't think about trading. When you think about your trading skill, don't allow the outcome or lack of outcome of just one trade get in your head. All right. If you're really here to do this, you're gonna take just thousands and thousands and thousands of trades, and you're gonna miss out on hundreds and thousands of ideas as well. Within your system are the ones that just don't trigger, are the ones that and it happens. So yeah, the more you see it, and the more you just make the right decision, the more you're imprinting how invaluable one trade is. Hola, what's up? Sells from 40 to 60. Yeah, I think we have a really similar. Actually, mine's a 4350. I have a short in right now. All right, and now sells. Nice, Sonia. Hola, mentor. ¿Qué tal, Gisla? ¿Cómo estás? Entonces, básicamente lo que digo es que no persigan las ideas. No dejen que la mentalidad de escasez o que el mercado te debe algo, no dejen que eso te domine. Cuando tú escoges la decisión correcta y lo haces una y otra vez, vas a ir mejorando. And guys, if you want to know, or if like anything I've been saying has been kind of like resonating with you, or you go, man, I need a bit more of this, definitely make sure you're watching the other videos I have on here, and make sure you're checking out the newsletter. Honestly, like I love all the feedback I've been getting on the newsletter. I've been just really enjoying writing it, and it's been super useful in my own journey. So definitely check it out. Yeah, literally missed my limit by a tick. Pain. I would rather miss the trade than chase the trade, for sure. And it's also something that you just kind of start earning. Like you start earning that discipline again. Mike, this is Giovanna. Nice to see you trading. Do you go live on here every day? Every day? No, I don't go live on here every day. I'll go live I'll be going live Monday, and then I'll go live here Friday mornings for New York Open. I am planning on definitely going live every day in the near future. It might be like at a different time, because I do want to kind of just go over maybe post New York Open, maybe like that 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Central, and then see what we do here. But yeah, stay tuned. Definitely make sure you guys are subscribed and get your notifications, because I do random pop-up streams as well if we have like a FOMC or an NFP I like to just kind of come in here and say, and we go in here and do our thing. Thank you. That makes total sense. Thank you so much. Would you say these two markets correlate with the dollar on New York session a lot more in an afternoon or London? Yeah, I don't even really need to take a look at what the dollar's doing, like the DXY. Independently, you can definitely trade indices super successfully. The volume, yeah, you're going to see more opportunities with indices for sure, during New York session. But I will say, I wouldn't necessarily avoid trades at other times, considering the macroeconomics and the market that we're at right now. Right now, for example, during Asian session, if China drops any sort of an announcement, if Trump is, just saying literally anything, then you can get volatility, you can get setup. So if you start seeing the market give you a setup and it's an Asian session, I wouldn't avoid it. I'd say run that up. Like definitely run that up. Let's see what the market's got in store. For sure. The other idea right now that I could see, and actually we might get a second option here. So we have officially mitigated Dow and Nas. So we're not looking for entries up here again or anything like that. All right. If you did take this, then right now your Nas trade is running around what, like 2-1? Okay. If you're in profit, let me know. Drop in the chat if you're up. Maybe you're taking a challenge. Maybe you're trading your live accounts. Let your boy know. Yeah, I'm still in yesterday's Dow sells. Peep 19,425. Nas 15 minutes. 19,425. Nas 15 minutes. I think we're already pretty efficient all around here. There's a buy setup that was from like the 15-second right here from yesterday. I don't know if I really want to take this, considering if we end up working all the way down to here. I think we will. I think we're going to rebalance all of this. This is now efficient. The markets looks like it's mitigated everything really well. It feels like we're just going to kind of slip through into filling all of this. No player name. Who's no player name? Hola, mi amor. Day Traders Society. What's up, baby? That's the boy. Hey, that's the boy, Brian. Y'all, go check out Brian. Click his channel. He's legit certified. Day Trader Society. If y'all want some. I know there's some good stuff coming there soon, too. Where are we taking NAS sales to? I think 18.9. If you're in the NAS shorts, if you don't want to deal with a breakout and you want to take conservative intraday exits, this is fantastic. Great time. Like, take your money, call it a day. If I think everything looks really efficient, there's really no reason to pull back or anything anymore. If you're in a Dow short, I actually think you have a better chance of just withstanding all of this. And then if you did short with me yesterday, because I called this one out, if you did take this short with me yesterday, I would move your stop into profit, at least 100 points. So if you're still holding this idea, definitely do that. I think Dow is there's just much more bearish momentum. So stops into profit in either trade if you are holding this. With Nas, it looks like it's struggling a little bit to break through. So I would be a bit more conservative with this. But actually, with that being said, let me go ahead and give me a chance to adjust some of my positions here. Let me go ahead and move my stops down. All right, cool. All right, got that one set up. Got this bad boy set up here. I'm trading Top Step and Apex, so managing all this shit. All right, cool. Here we go. So this is swept liquidity and it's been trading here. I don't see. I'm fairly confident that we should slip into imbalance fills, and considering that it's dropping first, there's a good shot that not only it's going to rebalance here, because there's a nice little sell-off here and then it rallies, but this also creates equal lows and support. So I think there's a good chance we crack below this. I'm not going to take it that much further. I'm just going to take my exit right here at this where we've seen structure, imbalance. So right around that like 39, 730, 725, right around there. And then this would end up being a, 600 point sell. NAS looks like if it is going to keep working its way down, it's just going to take a little bit more time. It's going to fight its way down, and you can tell because of the price action. Just there's definitely much more bearish momentum there. Okay, I'm going to dive into the chat here, answer some questions, and then we'll go look at some of the majors. Equal lows are in balance at 18,935 are good points. I love it. I love how y'all are just like helpful here for exits. This is so sick. Such a good vibe in the chat. Definitely gonna start trusting myself more before I take a trade. I'm getting in too early or my stop loss too early. Yeah. With the trust with those entries, if you want consistent results, right? If you want consistent outcomes, you need consistent, inputs. Like you need to do the same stuff to be able to get the same stuff over time. It's not going to work every time, but it's over time. Yeah, and it's just so important. So if you're struggling with taking the same setups or putting your stop loss in the right place, take pressure off of what you need to be getting out of the market right now. If you don't have a consistent system that you can just do over and over and over again, then you shouldn't be getting good results. Like it doesn't really make sense for you to get good results. Like why should you be getting profits if you're still not a trader, Like you're not really a trader until your system is built out. You're figuring out how to trade. You've learned how to analyze, but you're not executing, you're not operating until these things are being done effectively. So, give yourself the chance to do that. All right, well, here comes the volatility. We got that in new hour. New hour here. I'm sure we'll get some of a rebalance. Let me actually zoom in a little bit here. So I'm going to the 1 minute here between, and honestly, we don't really need NAS chart open anymore. What I could see happen is we might see the market pump back up here. Maybe we short out of this range. I would love for the market to just kind of really confirm lower lows and trade down here a lot longer. I don't want to take another swing at this if, for example, this could just turn into a liquidity sweep and then we get higher highs and then this is a whole other thing. So for me to get another entry on here, I would want to just have confirmation that when price goes below, this intention isn't a liquidity capture. It's confirming that, okay, yeah, there's demand at 40,050 or below, and we're going to keep trading here. If this just skyrockets again, then there's a good chance that this push below is just a liquidity sweep. And just because we want more out of the market doesn't mean we got to just keep chasing this thing. So let's let the market prove itself. You have to look at it as if the market needs to prove itself to your system. It's got to be qualified for you, not the other way around. Okay. So in the meantime, while Dow makes up his decision, this is what I've been looking at for buys. So if you're trading futures, this is 6A. CFDs, you're looking at Australian dollar. And we see a clean sweep below. The market made its move up to the zone. shorted from here, and it's worked its way back down. There's a lot of money sitting here, so tons of retail buys here, looking good. The way in which you've worked our way higher, actually, I'm gonna pull up the futures chart. It is a more accurate in my opinion, so I'd rather just kind of see what's going on there. And so, yeah, I'm looking for a buy in here. And then I would take this back into, I wouldn't necessarily force this to make higher highs or anything. I think trading into this imbalance here kind of makes sense. We'll see kind of when we work our way down. That'll kind of give us a better indication on the exit too. But taking a buy right around here looks good. So aquí, chicos, buscando compras, aquí con el australiano. ¿Dónde salimos? Va a depender de cómo el mercado, pues, quién nos presenta el mercado. Vamos a ver. I think we have a pretty high probability over a 3R. And even if you wanted to go extremely high probability exit, you're looking at a 2R, and that's just taking the exit right out of where we have support. So, not bad. Nothing will help you but taking losses, bro. Trust me on that. Keep journaling and taking the trades and be honest with yourself. You know when you're following a plan or just YOLOing. Facts. Caught it. Sick. Profit. We ups at 1 to 3. Ooh. Hey, if you pass a challenge, if y'all taking some withdrawals, it's your boy now. All right. If you are currently up, let's get some energy in the chat. Now, only if you did it disciplined. If you chased it, if you over leveraged, you might be up in profit, but don't really reinforce yourself like that. Be like, oh, I'm up, bro. Yeah. But, you know, you totally, like, you shouldn't be, you know? So if you're learning something, go ahead and drop a testimonial here. Would be amazing to have. I love reading it, guys. I just pinned it to the top. Si activa la venta en NAS. Si la tiene, pues es más bajista. Entonces lo que decía era que podría salir aquí intradía. Love, is that a love? I can't hear you, bro. That's unfortunate. Oh, there we go. There it goes. Voy a llorar. Let's see if I get back in here. Bro, what the fuck? I think we're back in action. Oh, let's go. Low key, I basically was about to give up on the stream. Not gonna lie. Yeah, there's like something with I think my stuff is getting throttled for no reason. Yeah, kind of weird. But anyways. All right, so with so I think you guys missed out what I was saying, but that's fine. Hold on, let me double check. Let me get this thing here so I can tell when this thing's bugging out or not. So yeah, even if you have a winner, even if you have a winner running, but you did it wrong, like just you make note of it, because what you don't want to do is you don't want positive reinforcement for the wrong actions. Because then what you're going to do is you're just going to keep doing the same bullshit, and then you're just kind of lying to yourself. And because you see the numbers going in the right way, like you might pass a challenge, you might get a withdrawal, you might get funded, you might, you do all of that. But it's only going to last until your luck runs out. But because you're getting good results, you think that you're doing things well. So don't lie to yourself, So yeah. Now one thing that's looking good right now is we're seeing Nas. Nas is running back up here. So I said before, like don't Nas was not the. It didn't end up giving us the best price action. So don't chase this. No entering in Nasdaq again. Don't chase this, guys. Like this is not the ideal asset. Dow is much more bearish. If it's gonna work out, it's gonna be with Dow, and I do not think it's gonna be with Nasdaq. So even now, we saw the market dip down, come back up, come back down, come back up. I'm not fully convinced on the bearish structure yet with Dow Jones. There's still a chance if we come back down and we just kind of trade here for, the next, I don't know, the next 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, then I could say, okay, there's a better shot that we can catch a short and get another entry. But right now, see, look how fast we're going over here. Yeah, so this is kind of annoying because now I'm not fully convinced that we're going to just sell again and keep going. So, I mean, I have my stops in over here within the structure. And then if it stays, cool, but otherwise I'm not doing anything. Oh, I totally have my limit. I did not delete my limit here. That's unfortunate. Well, all right, I totally forgot to delete my Nasdaq limit. All right, here we go. So in this example, right here, right now, what's Nas doing? Rebalancing a little bit, working its way down. So did the market want to push higher just to rebalance over here? There's a pretty good shot. And what we could see is we might see this, now that that's happened, we may see, everything work its way back down again. It's a possibility. But what you don't want to do is just have hope. Keep having hope. Like, oh, it's going to work out. It has to work out. Nah, don't be doing none of that. All right, so make sure you have your alert set up for AUD. So whether it's CFDs or futures, we're going to just let indices just keep, doing its thing, keep moving along. And then outside of Australian, we can take a look at NZD. NZD actually already got into this exact area that we were looking at and is already mitigating this. So it already rejected here, close out the sell, it's rallying. So we can tell that NZD USD has been more bearish on the way down. So we can just easily can see that. We're starting to see everything bounce back up because we're getting that exchange of money right here. So we're seeing it happen in real time. AUD doing the same thing. Now, if you look at this and you look at NZD USD, maybe you see, oh, should we be looking for sells maybe over here? You see the market was moving sideways. Good liquidity here during a few hours during Asian session. And it finally cleared the highs and then worked its way down. So could we get shorts in here? And the market is giving us lower lows. It traded down to here, pulled back, rebalanced, came down again. This to me is enough to consider this. What I would definitely want to keep in mind is just, okay, are we is it the most bearish opportunity? So it's definitely not moving up at the same pace as AUD. Right? Australian dollar is already looking to clear this like 3 a.m. high Central Time. NZD is way behind on that. Chilling. So NZD USD looks like a better selling opportunity here for sure. Now we can look at the other majors to see like, okay, is anything else giving moves like this? We can tell Euro already looking to crack above the London session high, so we can be more patient. And then so the Euro sells that I like are way up here. And personally, I think we could see Euro shorts for a minute. So I'm actually going to zoom out on my idea with Euro. So check this out. Here's my take on Euro USD. If we look at this, and we're going to zoom out a little, I'll start with the weekly real quick, and then I'm only going to go another 20 minutes or so, guys. So that way we can just keep managing Dow, and then see where that turns into, and then also I can give you guys a couple of things that I'm seeing with some other assets. But right now, Dow obviously worked its way down quickly, cleared the London session lows, and then all of yesterday's Asian session and part of New York session. So we'll see from here where this all goes. Okay, so Euro successfully just this week, the last couple weeks, we saw it clear out 2025, 2024, 2023, and 2022 highs. So this got back into November 2021 imbalances. So all of sellers got liquidated here, and then immediately we see the market come back down. And I want to show you this because this is important on how you perceive price action. So we immediately see the market on Sunday, this Sunday, we saw the market sweep the highs, trade up here, and it stayed up here for the first day of the week. And then as we got into the second day, trading day of the week, we start to lose momentum, and we've been working our way down to here. So at this point in time, we're definitely have liquidity all in this range. We saw that there wasn't too much demand up here. We come up just to come back down. So price getting above 1.1475. Yeah, we traded here for about a day. But when the next day we come right back down and then we kind of just stay trading here, where's the demand? Is demand really bearish or is it bullish? So us having price stay here, squeeze, I'm not fully convinced that this created enough demand for us to get a higher high. You can look at the daily, you see it come right back down. We're here again. So yeah, I'm just not fully sold on all this, and I think there's two areas where I think we could see it short. And even if you look at it here, you see the market pumps, sweeps all of this, moves sideways, and then we get some smaller time frame intraday movement where we see the market, make a sweep up here, drop, another move up, drop. So if we get up to here, I think maybe we get some intraday. It could sell off from here, drop a little bit. I would be moving my stops just to protect this idea. Maybe from here it shorts. This is where it sells from. If not, then we may get up to this zone and then finally make our move down. But to give you guys just more perspective, this, I think conservatively could make its way down to kind of this imbalance, rebalance all of this. That's, I think, a pretty high opportunity. And again, this is because we're keeping in mind full context, higher time frames, lower time frames, the whole thing, right? The whole nine. So yeah, that's just my take on how the market's moving along right now. I think that I think that this is something that we can get. So if you guys want to, I guess, have this in mind, I'd say these are the exits that at least I'm looking for. Okay. So here, draw it out, look at the zones. I'll give you the smaller time frames, but the higher time frames definitely just make a lot of sense for the exits right now. So with back here with indices, we're seeing the market rebalance again right here. It's not super great for Dow for this to continue. Like, it comes up, rebalances here, comes up again. So let's wait and see. I'm still holding this. I'm still holding my original short from yesterday. And then I have my stop right here, about 110 points up. This is good. Do you see how we rebalanced and then instantly came back down? If we engulf here and then we kind of just hold this, then we're gone. See if that plays out that way. All right, so that's euro. GU, not a lot going on for me, in my opinion. I'm chilling. USD CAD gave really good shorts here yesterday or 2 days ago during New York. So we caught this one, and then I called this one out for the community, and then the exit was in this imbalance at 1.3850. So this is a nice one. I think it was about 12.5 point pip stop, and then we went for about 45. So we went right around a 4R. I'm not looking to do anything else here right now. There's a lot of liquidity, a lot of equal lows. There's some imbalance here, but yeah, I'm okay with all this. The idea that I think could have a pretty good play. I don't know how many of you remember, we went over this throughout the last few months. We were waiting for this from last year. But we had a zone marked up. You could probably look up a stream from September or October. We had a zone marked up here, and it just ran. We were waiting for forever. And then it got right below 140. It just triggered this while I was on my flight to South Korea. And then it ripped. Bummer. This is like the extreme. This is like the signature swing trade, daily time frame. Full extension swing idea. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's all good. This is the kind of trade where you catch the absolute bottom. You can run an imbalance fill on the daily or on the weekly. And this bad boy, yeah, I mean, this thing's going to probably keep pushing up until we rebalance pretty nicely. Probably 140, 650-ish. This would be where I would want to take it. Maybe we work our way back and we get another entry, and you can see where the market sells off aggressively and then absolutely rips. So here, just make this has been filled. So long from here would be sweet. Play some alerts here. And Dow has come back down. Holding it here. Want to show you guys. We're going to go to the 15-second time frame to get a better understanding of the market. Basically what we had, it was the market came back to get very efficient, and then it traded out of New York Open levels. So we had New York Open come back down, more momentum over to here. This rebalances completely. It leaves some liquidity, so that's interesting. But so we got that going on now, and then the way the market moves up and then down and then up again. To say that that smart money kind of drove price up and then down right off of New York Open, we can argue that this already came in. So I'm not going to chase anything else here. And then the extension of this, I think we're going to see. Now we can just see this thing bleed through into 39,725 and change. So this is an absolutely beautiful short that we're seeing right now. My stop is up now 250 points. So worst case scenario, I'm still collecting a 2R. Best case scenario, a bit more than that, because this was my trade actually. A little tighter than that. Okay, so that's Dow. And then NAS, if you just took the original entry we had, then this thing is bleeding out fully committed to the downside and just sending it. And look at this. This played out of the previous levels of supply, rebalanced, and then went. In my opinion, it wasn't a valid to take NAS again or anything. It's just interesting to see how it plays out. And then, yeah, my stop now is over to here. If we end up seeing, so now we're looking at the 1 minute. If we end up seeing here the market, if this rips right back up again, like immediately just goes flying up again, I'm definitely sticking to my stop here because for all we know, this could turn into a shift in direction and we might look to see an accumulation or something. I don't know if we're going to get that. I think we can just keep pushing, but that's why, you don't just keep your stop where you start. That way, like in case the overall sentiment of the market changes, you're still collecting something. Or when you see massive liquidity sweeps like this, these could be great signs to just pay yourself something. So, never be afraid to pay yourself. So now we're coming right back to where we had this previous structure. This is kind of proving what the intention of this drop was. Clearly lost a lot of momentum really quickly. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a lost cause, but definitely not ideal. All right, so USD JPY. We'll head back to Dow. We'll keep an eye on that here. But I want you guys to have this one and then drop a JPY in the chat if you see this. And if you're trading futures, then just look up 6J and it's going to look the opposite of this. So if you look up here, 6J, you're going to see basically the inverse of that. So here, you could be looking to short this in the future. And for me, this is like solid. It's just a matter of letting the market get to here eventually. Okay. Now we'll move on to metals. Had a decent reaction here. I think metals are giving some decent signs. Someone said you took a buy on silver. Oh, I think I see what you took. So you had a good push here. Nice little move down before the market rallied and then confirmed. Yeah, great. Good setup. Solid buy. I forgot you mentioned this. If I would have checked it out, this would have been a green light for a buy. So that's on me, guys. Obviously, you guys have learned how and to find setups with me. So, I mean, you're chilling anyways. But, yeah, that would have been nice, huh? Coinbase up 25%. Let's go. You're in that? Nice, Fernando. Targets on Dow. My target on Dow is 700. 25, 730, 39, 730. Yeah, so another 200 points. If this looks like it's going to just kind of cleanly work its way down, maybe it takes another 30 minutes or so. Maybe less. Because, like, NAS still hasn't even swept this shit. Like, all of this liquidity, NAS is still going to go push to this. There's a little bit of imbalance here. Maybe NAS doesn't actually work its way all the way down to here, but I do think a liquidity sweep is bound to happen. And that should take care of London session lows and then like lunch New York session price. So I want to see NAS keep pushing down and then get like down to here. With a big sweep like this, there's motive for price to go down on NAS. There's no, I don't see indices going up unless Nasdaq's liquidity gets swept. Watch your boot camp, but I'm currently struggling to find entries or identify some that you mark up. Okay. So, Sophia, did you understand today's setup with NAS? Or did you, were you able to identify this kind of sell or the one for US 30 from yesterday? Like, did those make sense to you? Yeah, excellent silver play. Coal to swole. Nice. Can you be too swole? Looking to long NAS 15 second. All right, Yamane, what the fuck are you getting yourself into, bro? My dude, we living on the 1 second. Okay, I see your idea right here. This is probably what you wanted to take, right? And I'm not even here to challenge Eric's ideas. My boy knows what he's doing. he just be in here. I think it was more so liquidity over here if this was what you were looking to take. And also you want to make sure you want to start with the higher time frames to confirm your structure. So did NAS get and I don't know how old that message was, so it might have been at a different business. Maybe you took this one here. So maybe you took this and then you already made $1 million and then now we're back. A 15-second setup can happen. Yeah, that might have been like 30 minutes ago for all I know. You said for US 30, yes, but the silver one and others, no. Sophia, if the one like US 30 and what about NASDAQ? Were you able to kind of see the liquidity, the liquidity sweep, the drop, the sell off? Like, did this one make sense too? If you're not seeing the other ones that clearly, you don't need to, right? You only need to see what you see. You don't need to take everything. You just need to take the ones that make sense to you. So if it's not abundantly clear, then you don't even need to be involved in those. You may be trading less frequently, but it doesn't mean that it's not better or worse per se, you know? All right, so for silver, you have equal lows, and then it's a little messy, it's a little choppy in here, but you see that push down. So let me get into the smaller time frame. You see how the market liquidates these lows, so you see a push here. I understand why you're not seeing this one really well. This one doesn't give you the textbook liquidity sweep and then the inefficiency, like the just absolute imbalance creation. Like it chops up a little bit and then runs. That's why it's a little bit harder for you to go like, oh, here's where I would take a buy. So I think that's why this one's a little bit more difficult to spot. But if you realize it kind of moves sideways here, when it moves sideways like that and then runs, one of two things happens. Either it plays off the order block in here and then it runs like around the open, or if it creates like a mini liquidity, like a small time frame equal lows, then it can clear these and then go. But this one was textbook. Like here's the previous level, the previous support. Once that's liquidated, this is still good areas for reversals. Man, this was I went over this one yesterday. I guess I didn't have an alert. And then the risk reward on this one is nasty. Already running a 5R. Jeez. So well done. Well done, Corey. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up here. Basically, from there, I don't know why I have all these other metals on here, and I never look at these anyways. Mexican peso. I was interested in possible in longing the dollar against the peso. However, it's just really struggling to confirm higher highs. Like there's just not a lot of demand over here. So I'm not sold on that. If anything, what we had happen during London session, it's kind of confirming a sell here, because we see this pump above and then just drop. So if we keep trading down here, then I'm leaning more towards selling this again some more and seeing where else this goes. It would be an intraday short. It wouldn't be a long one. Like, we would be just, take it, liquidity sweep, because we're already so far down in this structure. Like, there's not really too much of an incentive to keep pushing this down. Ideally, I'd like shorts over here in the future, but yeah, I know the Mexican peso buy kind of looks like a good setup, but it's just not. There's not a lot of demand up here. It just goes up and then loses momentum. So I'm gonna have an alert here. If we ever get back to this, then yeah, we'll see what happens. Crypto. So crypto looks like it's trading more closely to metals and NASDAQ a bit than anything. Bitcoin chilling at 95. We love that. Who was stacking up? Who was stacking up while it was dropping? Who here wasn't fearful or just, delusional? Because it does take a little bit of delusion. Oil, and then we'll wrap up with this. Oil, nice little sweep. We've seen it hold up here for a bit, and I like the buys and I like sells, so I like both sides of this. So whatever happens, whichever one happens, I'm gonna be taking. But yeah, oil looking pretty good. Altcoins, is today an altcoins day? Let's see here. A little bit. Dog up over 2 again. Let's go. Okay, Caspa rallying. Jupe pumping. Meme coins. Okay, meme coins getting a little bit of life again. Word. All right, cool. So, yeah, here's my chart for oil. Look at this on the 1 hour. You can clearly see the liquidity sweeps, the confirmations of structure. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And then NASDAQ just chopping up and down. It's just building a ton of liquidity. I'm still holding my short on Dow. I have my stops up here. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to just go up again and take another and have another move. Dow is still holding up much better on the bearish side of things compared to NASDAQ. And considering how much liquidity NASDAQ is building, I think we have another liquidity sweep event. I think money comes in again one more time to just keep pushing at least Dow to rebalance itself. And then that could position NASDAQ to clear up some liquidity. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the session, you learned something, then definitely leave a testimonial. If you made some money today, tag me also. If you just progressed, if you learned something, you maybe were more disciplined than you usually are, then, let me know. Dog still at a good price to buy? For sure. Dow hit TP. Let's go. Yeah, so the testimonials is at the top. If you want to just get a more of an inside look of how kind of I see just the process of trading, then in the description, the newsletters there and whatever other resources and stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. We'll be dropping the brand reveal video here shortly, and definitely some other really, really epic stuff coming. So be ready. Big things. But yeah, good stuff. Appreciate the hundreds of you that plugged in today. And come back and rewatch this if you want to learn something.